How does it feel to have lived long enough to see all of your favorite franchises go down in flames?
Feels great.
Recording now. And there's no need for me to clap because we're not synchronizing.
Aw, man.
So we can just get started.
So, I'm gonna start off with a thing that I don't know much about but will do research for. Logan Paul's a flat earther.
Yeah, I heard about that.
He's going to Antarctica to trek across to prove it's flat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good luck with that, I guess.
I honestly am sad he's not doing it in the other Arctic pole because there's a chance a polar bear could kill and eat him on camera.
Just adjusting the audio right now.
Yeah.
Because I know that, when I talk with this, it's when I talk, it's up to my mouth. But, since this is, a fair distance between you and me. So, yeah, this seems to be optimal. For those of you at home and those of you looking at the thumbnail, I decided that to just toss Zach's recorder, the cheaper one. This one is just, this is the one I use, and it's, standing in between us on a platform, I guess, of cardboard from a pizza box. The pizza that I ordered, actually, a couple nights ago. So.
Is it good?
Yeah, Romeo's.
Oh.
It's, yeah, have you ever had Romeo's?
I have not.
It's the best. On a scale of, the tier lists that they have for, fast food.
Yeah, I haven't seen those.
Yeah, for pizza, Romeo's is S rank.
Ah.
I would go so far as say triple S rank. Even better than Lorenzo's, in my opinion.
Yeah, I haven't been to Lorenzo since I heard some fucked up shit went on there, but I won't go into detail.
Really?
Yeah, just some fuck up cover up.
Mm-hmm. Is it Pizzagate levels of cover up?
He's a wild card.
Yeah. It seemed I imagine that because I haven't heard from him up until he announced the flat Earth thing. And actually, the Flat Earth community, denounced him, or, they said, we don't consider him part of our community.
I'm sorry, at that fucking point, that's when you hang yourself. Have you seen a Flat Earther convention?
I probably looked at, bits and pieces of it, I mean.
They're fucking weirdos.
Yeah. I haven't seen, full, panels or whatever, but I think I might have seen, a snapshot or two.
I'm sorry, I don't like to talk ill of people, but fucking Flat Earthers... it was not even fucking ever used as a possibility. Fucking Vikings were hey, Ivar, look, there's a curvature to the Earth. The Chinese still fucking around the Earth so well, they probably knew what America looked like. There's evidence that they mapped out America.
Uh-huh. I know, have you ever get the chance to look it up? Vsauce did a good video about Flat Earth.
There's an entire, 8-part thing, I think it was 8 parts of, the science that disproves it. And it was really good. It also taught me the word flatard. Yeah. Logan Paul's a wild card. Him and his brother, they put signs don't drink gasoline, don't fist a bear, just rules at places that no one's ever done, but then you find out they do, yeah.
Well, I mean, welcome to Ohio, which is where they're from.
Fuck, I'm sorry. The Midwest apologizes.
Yeah, we're very sorry. I think we mentioned this on a different episode, that they're actually from, Wellington.
God, that...
No, they're not from, I used to work there. No, it's off west of Cleveland.
Oh.
I should know this because I used to work there. It seems you get the feeling just towns kind of blur into each other.
Yeah.
Names. I was actually looking at some towns actually not too far from where we live. It's and they sound like towns that are just randomly generated through an algorithm.
Fuck yes, that's Ohio names. Oh, by the way, Wellington's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Have you been there?
Yeah.
So I was talking to some people, and we got talking about Wellington, and apparently there's this, because there's a lot of big money people live in Wellington, right? And there's this rumor that there's an inbred cult there that's basically the plot of Get Out.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking Westlake.
Westlake.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where they're from. Or they were born in Cleveland, but they grew up in Westlake.
They spawned in Westlake.
Yeah. And like, there's nothing, like, at least I've said before, like, there's nothing to do around here except, you know, drive your four-wheeler off a cliff or whatever. It's like that, like, that's basically what they do in California now. They're California's problem.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, I'm just fucking picturing, like, they didn't really transport, they, like, hitched onto the back of a truck.
Yeah, the thing about California is that they do that because, like, they have the privilege to people who grew up in California. In Ohio, we do dumb shit because that's all we have.
Yeah, like, I saw these guys on California who I swear to God are accidental Californians. What they do is, my name's Danny, that's Phil, that's Officer Greg. We're gonna shoot some shotgun slugs and compare them. And it's like, and all they do every episode, this is a 4-5 tracer, 12 gauge slug, and they shoot an object, go, damn, look at what that thing did to it. And they load another shell, shoot it, and it's addictive. These guys have that sort of, the shotgun charisma.
Yeah. I thought about, like, going to a shooting range and trying. I don't think I've ever shot, like, live ammunition.
If I had to pick a gun, I'd probably want to learn how to do a 12 gauge.
Like the one your mom has?
Kind of, yeah. I have to get ready for, for a day when I must be anointed. They put the shotgun barrel on your one shoulder, the other, and they do a cross. That's how we knight you in Ohio.
That's a nice gun. I still remember. Like, that was last summer.
Oh, that's an old Benelli. Benelli shotguns, it's a SPAS 12, technically. Back in the day, Benelli was apparently one of the big names. Like, you weren't a real mobster unless you had a Benelli. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I don't fucking know the history of that brand that well, but I do know the one cool thing about shotguns is there's two varieties. Fuck that one particular person over there. Fuck everyone over there. And I respect that.
I like it whenever video games, because I noticed that Red Dead 2 did this, where, like, you have the option to either have, like, the scatter shot or the slugs.
Oh.
Because it seems like for the longest time, video games just didn't understand that you didn't have to, like, have every single shotgun just spread out and, like, do minimal damage over, like, over a wide range. That you could actually, like, switch out.
I think it's sort of like the gun game in theory, that, like, every gun has a particular purpose. And they need a gun that hits an enemy, like, wide.
Yeah, like, and it makes sense for, like, old video games, because, like, if you wanted to hit an enemy, like, across the map, then you'd have, like, a rifle.
Also, the only game where the shotgun's the only good weapon is Doom. Not only good weapon, it's the most sad.
Yeah, that's another example of a shotgun that has distance.
Yeah, it's the kind of gun that makes you go, woo! Yeah, the kind that makes you sweat when you play.
Yeah. I like New Vegas, how they let you use slugs.
Oh, New Vegas is fucking awesome with its gunplay.
Yeah.
I'd fucking play a game with New Vegas if there's no monsters.
Yeah. I always appreciate, like, games where it feels like the people who, like, program the guns have actually fired a gun before in their life.
They should hire that Californian dude. Your shotgun's off. They did this, I'm sorry I have to talk about this. They had this one gun. They call it the bullet from heck. The bullet from heck. This guy's whole career is shooting a shotgun with that one shoulder. Fucking shotgun bucked him, knocked him on his ass. It was like the biggest fucking bigger round than your thumb. Most shotgun shells are, but it was progressively bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else? What I've been having trouble speaking recently. You know what's a nice fucking gun in a game? I really like the repeaters in Red Dead 2. Speaking of, hey, how is Devil May Cry 5?
I finished it. It was great.
I'm looking at that, and I'm looking at Mortal Kombat 11. It's slowly becoming, the fucking which one do I pick?
I'd say pick Devil May Cry.
I'm thinking the same thing. Plus, if I weigh a bit with 11, they're going to come out with the special edition, because,
Yeah.
Character horse.
Yeah. Devil May Cry 5 is, for me, it's close to being the perfect game.
How's the music?
It's great. People have said, they only use, 3 tracks for the 3 characters. But it's no, they have more music than that.
Oh, cool.
I also finished Red Dead 2, yes. I liked it.
Yeah, Red Dead...
It's 6 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, Red Dead 2's ending... I think they maybe could have gotten away with ending it with Arthur's death.
Yeah. Yeah, if they just ended there, then I don't think like you would have lost anything with. I mean, like, yeah, if you wanted like the post game stuff, you'd still need like another character, or maybe just like.
Imagine if you played as Micah afterward.
Oh.
Picture the rage.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, if you have bad karma, then you play as Micah.
If you get good karma, who do you play as?
Probably John still.
If you have neutral, you get. I like Charles quite a bit. Charles is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, here's a good one. He actually, like, the voice actor for Charles actually voices the main character in Sekiro.
Oh, Sekiro. That's a game I'm also looking forward to.
Yeah, it's out right now.
Oh, it's out?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I've heard some people say it's pretty good. Like they say it's like it's very different from a Souls game. So like if you've gotten used to the Souls game combat, you need to like sort of like readjust your gameplay style for this new one.
You know, I've been getting into Dwarf Fortress again.
I've been trying to get back into that.
That's the thing. Adventure mode's easier for beginners, but it's also more complex. Mm-hmm. My favorite fucking thing ever, and this is my favorite Fortress story to tell, is I ended up in a fucking fortress as an adventurer that had no fucking door. Imagine, there was a way out, however. They had a mine, and I'm wandering this goddamn cave with 3 dwarves who happen to follow my retard ass into this cave, and we're walking out there, and I hear, and I realize, wow, there's a lot of webs in this room, almost like a fucking giant cave spider, and it fucking wrecked the entire party. And the nest was fucking right next door to the hole. And I just like to imagine mine like, hey, don't go out there. There's a giant cave spider there. You'll probably be safe. You know, it can't fit through the fucking hole. Oh, wait, it can. Yeah, just leave it alone. Dwarf Fortress is amazing.
Oh, yeah. I hear people say it's like one of their favorite games. Joel from Vinesauce says it's probably in his top 3.
Yeah, like, Dwarf Fortress can surprise you if it's detail. Mm-hmm. Like, one of my favorite things is I found a book that was written by it was written by a fucking monster that couldn't speak. A plump helmet man. And I just like to imagine this guy who can't speak going, I apologize, I'm rambling.
That's fine. I forgot to mention, I think it was like yesterday or the day before, like Elder Scrolls 3 was free for the day because it was like the 25th anniversary of the Elder Scrolls series.
Oh, Morrowind?
Yeah.
Oh, too bad I already have Morrowind's Game of the Year edition.
Yeah. Like they released, like it was free on the Bethesda launcher though. So, like depending on whether or not you like despise anything other than Steam, like it was worth picking up for me.
Do you hear about how Dwarf Fortress went to Steam now? It's getting an actual GUI.
Yeah.
There's 2 responses. 90%. Wow, that's good of Toady one and our other response I saw. This person was screaming, it's the devil, the devil! They were talking about Steam like Steam's out in the fields whipping slaves. Like, the way he described it was the kind of description of a dictator in a third world country ordering babies to be fed to alligators.
I mean, I'm sure that some people could argue that, like about like monopolizing and everything.
Yeah, I mean they're a fucking scummy company, but they're not out there beating people to death.
Like Valve is primarily motivated by money now. They themselves have admitted that. So like I'm sort of torn between when it comes to other stores like the Epic Games Store or Battle.net. Like Epic Games less so because of the recent controversy.
What'd they do?
Well, it turns out that the Epic Games launcher actually contains spyware. That they actually can spy on your Steam accounts to know what games you prefer or whatever.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure that's illegal. If it's not, then it's still very, very scummy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like Epic Games was already on my shit list. I'm sorry. I'm taken aback by that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, they used to kill people for that shit. Wow, he really likes that waifu game in Sakura Dungeon. I'm sorry, this picture of his neck beard, like, next you have Fortnite, Waifu Royale.
Mm-hmm. And, like, Epic Games themselves have said, they've said, unrelated to that, but, because they've started adding more games to their store and saying, we're not going to pick the shitty games. Meanwhile, they show, Heavy Rain and, other, some of the David Cage games, and they're like, oh, well, you have Fortnite on there, too, so that's a bad, good, dumb game.
Oh, speaking of that, do you know what PUBG Mobile is?
I've heard of that. It's PUBG for mobile, right?
Yeah, so I'm sitting at Subway, and that's my new hangout, and I'm writing, and I hear, these kids keep on playing PUBG. And this guy keeps fucking killing me with a sniper. Guy was camping. Guy was fucking camping. And I said, fucking figure out where he's shooting. I didn't say it like that, but in the back of my mind, like, fucking figure out where he's shooting at you. If everyone's dying in this circle, maybe you should fucking go to the middle of that circle with a hatchet. And they kept talking and getting louder. And I felt my last nerve break as I was about to reach around and slap him with the pimp hand. I was about to become a pimp named Slickback from Boondocks. I recently rewatched that show. It holds up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like there are some sketches in there that are still like they're just as fresh as they were back then, which may or may not be very, very sad. But I don't know. Like it's still like when I think about certain sketches, like just the whole like To Catch a Predator episode.
That's one of my that's like the whole short movie.
Yeah. Yeah, like the part, just the opening of that with Chris Hansen and
Was that really Chris Hansen?
no, I'm pretty sure that was impersonator.
God.
And the Booty Warrior.
I love that.
It was actually based on a real person. There was I remember there was an interview around that time with some guy who in prison who called himself the Booty Warrior. And, it was if I remember correctly, it was like a pitch perfect impersonation of that particular guy.
I'm sorry. I feel I really like that sketch because how the guy talks. I ain't looking for no kid booty.
Yeah, I think that was his dialect.
And he
in
just
real life.
yeah, and that like they also the Exorcist skit cracks me up.
Oh yeah.
Just,
I'm not gonna repeat it.
not even kidding, it's because like it's one of those shows that we have to tread lightly with. Yeah. Sorry.
It feels like it was like less sensitive back then because I remember like the Chappelle's Show sketch, the black white supremacist.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a clever concept.
Yeah, the part where he's like pulled up next to the white kids who are listening to rap and he thinks they're black, and then they say the N-word. Like, did you just call us? Man, that's awesome. Yeah. And you couldn't get away with that now.
Yeah, like, oh man.
Like whenever I think of like saying, you couldn't get away with that, it's like you still can say that. It's just that you get in more trouble for it.
Yeah.
Unless you like stick to your guns, in which case after like a week nobody gives a shit. That's what I think about whenever like YouTube apology videos come up.
And they have to.
Where it's like, why not just double down on it? You know that nobody's gonna like take you seriously if you apologize. It's just you apologizing for getting caught.
Or have Bill Clinton do it for you. I did not say the N-word. It may have looked like I did, but I didn't. God.
That's the worst Bill Clinton impersonation.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
God.
I can't do it off the top of my head, at least.
Oh, well, I also discovered Scottish Twitter is a thing.
Oh, yeah.
God, so you know the whole joke about the Scottish sword and shield trainer?
Mm-hmm.
I would pay good money to hear someone play the entire game with that dialect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, those memes are top notch.
Oh, yeah.
I keep saying top notch. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if, like, somebody... Like, if there's going to be, like, a Midwest Twitter meme sometime in the near future.
Oh, fuck. You get shit like, I was driving my ATV and I ran over a small animal. Oh, by the way, I found out my fucking uncle, he used to go up and down the street collecting roadkill for cooking. Mm-hmm. And that's when he was never allowed to fucking cook ever again. When he pulled out the flattest fucking roast in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's still stories about guys who, like, just pick up roadkill and cook it off the side of the road.
One of my uncles, what he used to do is he used to walk around with a knife, and if he'd see a small animal, and he'd stab it, and he'd cook it, and he'd bring it home. His roommates got mad because he liked to mix animals. Like, he'd be mixing up some rattlesnake and rabbit, some raccoon. He was one of the few people in his state. He was the second person in his state to shoot a bighorn sheep. Yeah, and I like to imagine, and apparently, I like to imagine this. He got in trouble because he went to carry it and he fell and nearly broke his neck. But can you imagine this guy walking up and apparently he had the Tom Selleck. So I'm just picturing. He sounds like quite the character. Mm-hmm. He also had a bad taste. He married 6 German women. Turned out they all knew each other and were using him as a way over to get to America.
Obviously not at the same time, because then they would obviously know each other.
God. Wow. It's amazing. I know all 6 of you.
Yeah. And he just keeps them in separate rooms in the same house.
No, it's 6 identical houses connected by a hallway.
Yeah.
God.
I really don't want to talk about Logan Paul anymore.
Yeah, same here.
Like,
He's a fucking, disgrace to the entertainment, to the Midwest, to American pop culture.
I mean, at least Justin Bieber went on to actually have talent a little bit.
Kind of. I kind of like him for being kind of a shithead nowadays, but, at least he's being honest with us.
Yeah. Talking about Bieber?
Yeah, Bieber.
I don't keep up with him anymore.
Oh, Bieber. Who are you talking about?
I was, comparing him to Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul was a punching bag, but Bieber was an asshole, and at least he owned up to it nowadays.
Yeah. Do you think the internet turned him into an asshole?
It fucking jaded him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being a 12-year-old and hearing all the shit they used to say about him?
Uh-huh.
God. Also, he did piss in people's face, which ain't cool. No, not piss in people's face. That's R. Kelly. He pissed in a mop bucket.
Okay. All right.
I remember that fondly because my uncle said they should grab him and stick his head in the bucket and drown him. Well, I'm going on the family tangents early today.
Yeah. I never really got onto the Bieber hate train. I don't think, I remember when I first heard about it, I didn't listen to the music. I just wasn't really interested. And it was I think it was that disconnect that made me just sort of be like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Same with, going back further, Britney Spears. I just felt bad for her when all that was happening.
Yeah. The consumer can be just as dangerous if consumed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to say that there's less of that now, because it seems like the internet and real life are sort of
blending.
Yeah, they're blending even more than they used to.
Can you admit, remember about Chappelle? Oh no, hold on. The internet's not dangerous, it's a weird, unpleasant place. Because whenever you do all the skits like Emoji Movie and Wreck-It Ralph too, and you're like, wow, look, it's a beautiful... No, it's not an idyllic place. It'd be like walking down in a really scummy part of town, everyone's on meth and coke, and somebody crawls over and says, I'm a 11-year-old dog girl, wolf. God.
I was watching... binging internet historian videos.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, I was watching the rainforest video.
Fuck.
You saw that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I have a friend who's a furry, and I feel so bad for him. Because he's a decent guy. He's not a fucking freak of nature like most people. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Wasn't there a guy who tried making drugs and burned the place down?
That might be something else. He didn't cover that in the video, at least.
Oh, and they wrecked the place?
Yeah, they were throwing dirty diapers all over.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. I would have personally been walking around. Can you imagine being the staff that day? Can you imagine what the fucking shit they heard but didn't say? God, I would hate to run a convention center.
Oh, absolutely. Anything doing with nerd culture.
Yeah.
I think, that's the rowdiest bunch.
Yeah.
Because I think it might have been the internet historian video where he says or maybe it was one of the comments where they were people who spend a lot of their time on the internet, they don't really know how to interact in real life.
I had something where I don't know how to talk to children, like babies. That's something that the internet, I don't know. But at least I don't go around going
you should marry her to a good guy who take care of her. A virgin for a nice gentleman like me.
What's that impression?
An incel, that's how... I'm sorry. They have to do voice modulators.
All incels are the Shockmaster.
Oh, fuck. Was that the guy who walked out, did his thing, and fell and knocked himself out?
Yeah, that was the guy with the stormtrooper helmet with glitter all over it.
God.
He bursts out of the wall, and then his helmet falls over, and he just immediately tries to put it back on.
I thought he knocked himself out.
I don't think he knocked himself out.
Oh.
Unless, maybe that happened later, but I just remember the clip that I always keep seeing where he bursts out of the wall. And
that's a Skunk Rock universe character.
Apparently he's...
You don't take this Shockmaster.
Or something like that. I don't know.
Can you... by the way, that was a cool voice.
Yeah, I've been
It sounded like Alex Jones when he talks about the liberals.
Listen here, you goddamn son of a bitch.
God,
Sounds like I'm belching my lines.
it does. Oh, man. Oh, my God, my uncle found out who Alex Jones is.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry I'm talking about him because he's been extra active on Facebook.
Mm.
I honestly swear to God, the moon radiations up in the mountains of Colorado have eaten away his brain.
It sounds like does he live like out in the like wilderness or something?
He lives 14 miles from the nearest other building. He works as a fucking construction worker.
See, like, it's funny because, like, I was just thinking, like, he sounds like the kind of guy who should just move out into, like, a cabin in the middle of the woods.
He fucking does. Well, not a cabin. He lives in a trailer on the top of a mountain.
Yeah, the only problem is that he has internet access.
I know. He's so high up, he could physically hold his phone out of a satellite. Bring me. He lives on Pikes Peak. Yeah, also, he fucking works at a construction site. He had a fucking fight with some rams. Because there's apparently the global warming's been forcing them down the mountain further and further. And they're working on, the jackhammers. It sounds like when bull rams fight sometimes, they knock their hooves on the ground like that. Sounds kind of like a jackhammer. And they're now fucking chasing people. They had to hide in a Walmart. They had to run 2.5 miles to, like, it's not a Walmart, but it's a big store out there. And they had to lock the doors because rams are trying to go through the window. Picture the mist, but they're all ovids.
So what's your uncle's excuse for them coming down? Because he sounds like the kind of guy who doesn't believe in global warming.
He believes at least that there's something fucked up in the mounds. Probably he thinks that his presence scared them. The Chad uncle, the virgin rams. God, I can't wait till he finds out what an incel is. He's slowly discovering internet memes. God. My other favorite thing is, I'm going to talk about this. I found a good way to get a reaction out of him. Every time he posts something, post the Snopes article disproving it. That's top tier.
I mean, like, I have mixed feelings about Snopes. Because I've heard, like, some of the, like, stuff that they've debunked is actually, like, false. Like, their debunking is actually, like, I don't know.
I've been trying...
Like, I can't remember where I heard that from. If I heard it from Paul, then it's probably incorrect.
Well, I mean, for example, the picture of Obama is a pimp. Stuff like that. Oh, he's still angry about Obama. He's the kind of guy who wanted to shoot Obama. Not because he's... Well, I mean, he hates Muslim people because he was in the war. And, I'll leave it there because... He also hates Mexicans. He thinks they're taking his jobs. No, they're not. There's like 2 Mexicans on Pike Peak. And both of them don't know both of them know each other, but they're not really like, hi, hey. Yeah, the other thing is, I'm going to end my little tirade on him here. He found that there's a fucking moose up there, a bull moose. And he's saying this moose and him are going to have to come to Jesus. The way he's talking about this is like he's going to take out a knife and fight this moose. Like, he talks about this like the moose is consciously aware of him. It did fuck up his van, though.
You know what he sounds like?
What?
He sounds like an alternate timeline version of Big Boss.
But here's the weirdest thing. He sounds like a deep-voiced Christian. I was listening to him on the phone, and I just started hearing him. It's the same fucking cadence. I call him Dark Universe Christian. I'm sorry, I apologize for that, but yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Fucking Big Boss is a good character.
Yeah. What else can we talk about? Oh yeah, you watched Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Did they actually have the dedicated to Stan Lee at the end credits?
I didn't see it. No, they did something fucking worse that I hope they do. It's the logo, they do like the Hulk here, and they do, and then they pull up and it's Marvel. It's that, but it's pictures of Stan Lee in the same poses. I hope they do that for Infinity War, because it was kind of cool, but not for Captain Marvel. Did he even fucking write Captain Marvel comics?
I can't think of any, Captain, I don't think he...
Was he even fucking involved with that?
I don't know, because the most I know about Marvel's Captain Marvel is that the reason that they started making Captain Marvel comics is so they could own the copyrights.
I see.
Because I think that what came first was the DC Captain Marvel, Shazam as he's known now, and that was owned at first by a different publication. The same publication that created The Question and Blue Beetle. I can't remember the name. I think it was Charleston Comics. Yeah, Charleston Comics. So they did the first Captain Marvel, though I'm not sure because there might have been another Captain Marvel that was like a European comic.
Can we just agree that characters named Captain and Marvel need to all come together?
I saw like a gif of Billy Batson morphing into Ms. Marvel, like the 90s version.
Oh my god.
She has like the sort of loincloth costume. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was she was in the...
was that the black one?
Yeah, where like that was in the X-Men cartoon, actually. Where they explained Rogue's origin story. Where she like absorbs Captain Marvel's or Ms. Marvel's powers.
I prefer Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she's like her original design is absolutely a much better looking design.
Yeah. Also, I will say this: they fucking used the Skrull in the best way possible. Mm-hmm. That was the number one part of that movie. Was the fucking Skrull. They had some great lines.
Mm-hmm. I actually watched the other night. I watched Goldfinger for the first time. 007.
Oh, yeah, how do you like it?
It's good. It's really good.
Was that the one where they introduced the guy with the scar?
I don't remember if Goldfinger has a scar.
No, he's the guy with the cap.
Oh,
the main villain.
I think that was just Dr. No, the first one. I'm not sure.
There's a couple of... He makes a cameo in two of them before they show him.
Yeah, I remember there was one where it's like the intro where he's in the wheelchair, but then 007 like drops him into like... I think he like hooks him like his wheelchair on a helicopter and like drops him into a nuclear reactor or something.
Fuck,
I don't remember. If
James Bond's a brutal combatant.
Yeah, I almost said Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery. Like he definitely had I don't know if I'd call him unsympathetic because like he's kind of a scoundrel, but he's a lovable rogue.
Do you know why he has his martini shaken and not stirred?
Why?
It's so that when you shake it, the alcohol content's actually lessened by the ice mixing with the alcohol. So he's not as drunk, so he can still be with a woman or do a mission when you stir. I heard it from this guy. Like, oh, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna throw away a tissue.
Sure.
So like, I was at this restaurant. Me and this guy are having just like a very normal, like, you know, hey. You know why James Bond has his martini shaken and not stirred? Just like that. Mm-hmm. And it came over like a wave. Mm-hmm. By the way, James Bond has some great villain names.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, like Goldfinger is kind of the classic one that everybody thinks of. Because it actually introduced that iconic scene where he's strapped to the table and he had the laser like coming closer and closer to his crotch. Like that one I've seen like imitated like a couple of times at least.
Yeah, was that where you say, I expect you to die?
Yeah, I don't expect you to... Right, do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. And that was like that. I remember that was I think the first time I was introduced to that was Dexter's Laboratory episode.
Do you know how I know most of my James Bond shit? From Austin Powers.
Of course.
My sister got me into that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I recommend watching like at least a couple of James Bond movies.
I've seen a few. My favorite one was the one where they had the guy and he got hit with the dart. Whoop.
I remember that one because I can list a couple off the top of my head that I've seen.
I also saw the one where there's a scene where he has the laptop and it's in Mandarin and he just stares at the girl.
I don't know that one. It was probably a Pierce Brosnan one.
Yeah, it was one where he went to China.
Okay. I want to say that's Tomorrow Never Dies.
I think so.
Because that's actually probably the one that was so bad that they had to reboot it with Daniel Craig.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
That was the one with the invisible car.
Yeah, I don't remember. All I remember is I've seen a few of them, but they kind of blur for me, and I don't want to say that's a bad thing. I was also like fucking 8.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first. Because I remember Spike TV aired James Bond movies constantly. When they weren't airing like Cops or like other man shows.
Cops is a fucking great show. You take that back.
I preferred World's Wildest Police videos over that.
I'll be honest. I wasn't allowed to watch Cops as a kid.
Yeah.
My mom was afraid that we'd see family members. That's not a fucking joke.
Yeah, I remember watching Thunderball, A View to a... I don't think I watched A View to a Kill. There were a couple of old Sean Connery ones. I watched a few Pierce Brosnan ones, like GoldenEye. I never played GoldenEye though, which I've heard is actually better than the movie. But I didn't get around to appreciating them until like fairly recently. I think it helps if you sort of like put aside the cultural knowledge of James Bond and just look at them as really good old movies.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to do that, I think, because like Bond films are like so like they penetrate our culture so like distinctly.
Yeah.
And I do say penetrates without meaning to have intend a pun, whatever.
By the way, he's a fucking great character.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a classy series.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like, I want to say that Daniel Craig has probably like the least class added to the character.
It's an action movie, I think.
Yeah. I mean, with Daniel Craig, I like attribute his like James Bond as like a sledgehammer as opposed to the sort of hammer and chisel of Sean Connery.
You use I don't even no, it was a fucking Mission Impossible movie. I don't know which one. I saw the trailer constantly. And there's one line that stuck out. You use a scalpel, I use a hammer. Boom!
I've never seen any of the Mission Impossible movies.
I think they fucking suck.
Really?
Personally, I saw the first one and I'm like, wow, this movie's awful. I don't want to spend time in this world.
Yeah, the more recent ones are better, I've heard.
Yeah.
Especially the last one. I heard that was like a lot of people talking about that. Like Tom Cruise.
Was that the Fallout one?
Yeah, Fallout.
The one that got everyone disappointed when you see Fallout. Like, woo, Bethesda's finally signed a deal. Will it be a simulation for the first 30 minutes?
Yeah. I have you heard about the new Doom movie? Doom Annihilation.
Hey, let me try something. I have not heard a fucking thing about this except from what you just literally said. Can I make guesses? There won't be a Doom guy in it. There will be a Doom girl?
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
How did you guess that?
Because we can't have good things. No one can play Doom guy, be honest. He'd have to be a fucking... Oh, fuck. I tried guessing the worst thing they would do, which is either that or the demons end up helping the good guys to fight an even worse threat, which is the All-Right. God, I'm sorry, fuck it. Is it like helmet, full suit, armor?
I mean, it doesn't look like the original. Is
it like 2016 Doom or is it like 2004 Doom?
Like, it looks like they're trying to emulate the 2016 version, but like it looks like a sci-fi original movie.
Did they show monsters?
I think there are glimpses of them. They look like bad CGI.
God.
If I remember correctly.
We need a Doom movie with practical effects. We need a Doom movie where they rip in. Now, do you know who has to play Doom guy? Fuck. I would honestly like to hear, oh my god, the guy's name left me, the guy from the Axe body spray commercials. You know what I'm talking about?
Terry Crews?
Terry Crews. Rip and tear. Picture him doing that. Picture him ripping and tearing through the cyber demon.
Yeah. I don't think anybody can really be the Doom guy.
Yeah.
Because, like, Doom guy doesn't talk.
Yeah, no, what they should do is that he has a demon that's like... It's like a skull demon who's bound to him.
Or, yeah, it's like the bird from Devil May Cry 5, where it's like just kind
Oh, is that the one that...
yeah, the one that, like, sounds like... It sounds like Iago from...
I was thinking the same fucking thing. Is this what happened to... Oh my god. Jafar is V's great-great-grandfather. God. Oh, fuck. There's the tiger, too, in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And if you really think about it, there's a giant amorphous blob shaped like a lion. Is Aladdin really just a V fan film?
Yeah. We'll have to watch the new Aladdin film featuring famous YouTuber Will Smith. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I feel bad for Will Smith. I used to like him. I liked him approximately until I saw that YouTube video. YouTube Rewind fucking killed Will Smith in my eyes.
Yeah, like,
he's come back as a rapper.
Oh yeah, like he has started releasing new music, right?
Do you think that... I have a theory. He did it on purpose so people would dislike him because he saw this pile of shit. But Will Smith said, I will be like the phoenix and rise from the flames. And they all have to talk like Warhammer villains.
And that's how all celebrities sound in private.
Yeah, like you walk in there, Logan Paul. I'm sorry. I will trek to Antarctica. God, I want a Warhammer movie now, but it has to be voiced like it's a Dawn of War 1 mod.
They just get like actors for the sci-fi original movies.
Yeah, and the other thing I heard, oh my god, I'm sorry. Fun fact about Warhammer. Technically, Winnie the Pooh exists in the Warhammer universe. There was a monster in the very first edition of Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay that is described as a yellow bear that is sentient, capable of speech, and will rip humans apart in search of honey. It also only manifests in Elvish woods. I'm sorry, I really fucking wish that thing was still in Warhammer. They've rebooted Warhammer, and it's kind of reboot that's more PC friendly. And that's how it started. But then they added new factions and all the neckbeards. One of them is fucking mer people with dinosaurs. And they're kind of cool again.
Speaking of PC reboots, I heard that Vampire the Masquerade is getting a sequel.
Oh my god, I saw that. My response was, I did the Vince McMahon, yes. I don't even know what he sounds like. I'm sorry. I hope it's based on the original rule set, though. They best not take away my Nosferatu.
Yeah, but it sounds like the writing is going to get downgrades because I read about like what they're saying about we wanted to tell a political story, but the right kind of political stuff, the stuff that's on the right side of history. Not specifically those words, but you get the idea.
Yeah, because the problem, Vampire's always been political, but it's been a weird kind of both sides are fucked.
Yeah, it's like we want to like.
God, I honestly really think they're gonna make an alt-right Nosferatu as a villain now. He walks around. His name's
Tronald.
Prump. His name is his Prumpt. God, we can't have nice things in this universe.
Well, I heard this last night. Was that one of the original creators of Grand Theft Auto? He actually left Rockstar to do his own sort of reimagining of GTA that goes back to the original games and have it be more. Less focused on the cinematic storytelling and more focused on the gameplay. So I'm excited to see that. I'm not sure. I can't remember the name of the guy or the name of the projects, but I really hope that I can find out. I mean, I imagine I'll hear from that not too long from now. Yeah. But it's being made in. I guess Amazon actually has their own game engine, and it's based off of the Cry engine that Crysis was made in.
Oh, I remember CryEngine being really popular.
Yeah, so it sounds really neat. It's got. I mean, this is all word of mouth from a Vine Sauce stream, so some of the details might be a bit off.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's gonna have a huge map and be more focused on some characters that just kind of live in the world.
I wonder if there'll be character creation.
That's what it sounds like. You just play as a random guy who lives in this world and then just goes outside and just starts taking it on odd jobs in this huge map.
If there is one thing I hope they can get back Big Smoke. Big Smoke is at the end of the game, the Necronomicon's opened.
It would be neat if there was an Easter egg that where you have a character ordering from a menu and
God.
He wants 2 number 9s.
But he has to say it in a really normal, quick voice. It wouldn't surprise you.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like everything I want from a GTA game. Because I remember, I know I have the same problem with Fallouts, where it's Fallout 4, it's technically a better game than Fallout New Vegas. I know it pains me to say this, but the mechanics of the game, the fact
better.
that you can when you loot a box, it's not it just pauses the game and you have to go through each individual item. You can just open it up on the fly and then just scroll on the fly.
I used to do that when I was scared in the game because Deathclaws used to scare me. Also, fucking remember I was a kid when I played those games, so I'd use the chest to hide and have a safe space.
Yeah. Also the gunplay is a lot better. but the problem that I have with Fallout 4 is the story.
It's
like,
disingenuous.
yeah, and not only that, but it doesn't feel like you're playing a character that you made. It feels like you're playing just a pre-written character that's like Bethesda made for you and wants to tell like a specific story for you. And like that's what I like about New Vegas is that you just play as some random nobody who just randomly gets involved in this big like event, and like the story doesn't feel like it's built around you.
That's one of my favorite things about the game Oblivion. Mm-hmm. Do you remember how Oblivion opened?
Yeah, you're just
in a jail cell.
In a jail cell.
And there's this guy going like, "Hey, I have a comment just for your race." My favorite ones are the Dark Elves. Either he asks if they can have cell time together, or he's, "I'll look up your wife when I'm out."
Yeah, even still, like Oblivion, like you're still like the chosen one.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
By the end of the game, like you're like still like this guy who's destined to be like the coolest guy ever. And I think that like in some games that still works. Like
I think Skyrim did okay with it.
yeah, like if it's a game that's where it's like the goal is to be the most powerful magic swordsman type guy, it makes sense like for you to be like this chosen one with latent superpowers. In a game like Fallout, though, or in a game like GTA, it's more satisfying to be like some random guy who like just
takes down Tenpenny.
And like yeah, just like it makes more like I always find it more satisfying to have like the shittiest weapons and like being able to scrounge your way to the top rather than just immediately finding the laser rifle at like level 2.
You and I would really like in a game where you get godlike power at the beginning, and here's the catch: every time you kill a boss, you have to give something up, or you have to give energy when you hit checkpoints in the story, and you have to decide which of these powers will you hone in on.
See, that sounds familiar. I can't think of what, because my first thought is Metroid, but it's like that's like you lose all your abilities at the beginning.
Yeah. Oh man.
Also, that makes me think of I just saw a video on God Hand, and that's like it has a mechanic where like the better you play, the more difficult the enemies get. So like you start at level 1, but as you climb the levels, like so do the enemies, and that like there's actually a level death, like or like there's like 1 through 9, and then like the final level is level dead, where it's like all the enemies just kill you in one hit.
Oh fuck! Hey, remember when they had Dante Must Die?
Oh yeah, like they still have that, like in the new one, yeah, they have that.
Oh.
But I think you have to work your way up to that.
Yeah, you and I remember really liking. Oh, Devil May Cry Free Special Edition was my favorite Devil May Cry game.
Oh yeah, that's where they like balanced out the difficulty, right?
Yeah, and they also you could play as Virgil. Mm-hmm. And also, fucking Virgil, his game was, the subtitles of the boss is talking to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Virgil has a really unique voice.
Yeah,
you ever notice that?
He's a Power Ranger guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Like actually, yeah.
I'm motivated now.
I'm motivated.
No, now I'm motivated.
Yeah, he has kind of like a nasally voice, and you expect him to, because he's the villain, you expect him to have like a deeper voice. But I think it works.
He sounds like your annoying little brother.
Yeah, or like he's the older brother though, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
And also like Johnny Young Bosch, who is also a Power Ranger, he plays Nero.
Wow, I didn't know that. I'm dying of a plague here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like, I'm just getting over being sick too. I had my cold for like a week, and it's still like kind of clinging to me.
God, I can usually kick the vomiting and everything else of the flu. That cough will hang with me.
I thought this was like the first time you had the flu.
I'm talking about illness in general.
Okay.
No, you know what I used to get though? I have this thing I'm going to talk about. It's called Sicilian vomiting syndrome. Let me tell you about this shit. Because when I go to the afterlife, and if there is an afterlife, I'm going to find the angel that gave me my genetics, and I'm going to whip his ass. Sicilian vomiting syndrome makes your stomach think you're poisoned. Oh. It creates the response of, oh no, I did something wrong, and you vomit. Here's the fun part. It can happen randomly. That's when I was expecting. I used to be off a couple days in a row because of that shit.
I was just thinking like the other night about like caveman genetics and how like I was thinking about I finally got around to watching Super, and there's like a line about like Rainn Wilson early on. He goes to like a pet shop and like he's like thinking about like adopting a bunny, and the girl is like, like I prefer bunnies over cats because cats have like those flat, weird, creepy faces. And I'm thinking like it's probably like a latent genetic trait where like you think of like cats as like the predator.
Or actually, it's something else. It's the structure of a face resembles a human infant, and that's what draws you in. Is the baby-like traits. That's why baby face is considered a good thing.
I'm thinking like it could be the opposite, where it's like you see a cat. Like for people who don't like cats, they probably see a cat as like a panther or like a bigger cat as like being threatening. And they sort of associate the facial structure with predator.
So from what I've been because hold on, let me pull up my paleoanthropology. I'm kidding. I'm on a server of that shit, and they fight tooth and nail over this. There is only 2 animals ingrained into human consciousness: spiders and snakes. That shit killed the fuck out of us back in the day. That's why snakes are considered deities of fertility, because they would kill the people who didn't pass on kids.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Ever notice how you'll notice a spider very quickly? That's because your brain is tied to motion, particularly skittering motions like insects. They did this test where they showed images, and each image was shown for like a millisecond, but the people perceived seeing snakes and spiders longer because of how they're ingrained to the brain. Also, you like babies, you don't like snakes and spiders. Welcome to the fan club of humans. I was talking to my grandmother the other day, and she said something that I find really funny. Earth is a planet that when aliens land here, they go, "Oh fuck, don't touch anything," and they walk through with their hands in the air, flicking them around.
Let's see, what else can we talk about? Movies coming out. I saw the trailer for the new Men in Black. It doesn't look that bad.
Oh, good, thank God.
Like I'm gonna approach it with cautious optimism as I usually do, because when I first heard, like the internet's always like, know how it is, but like when like the lead is I think she's actually the same actress who plays the Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh.
So like, yeah, I like when I heard that, because I didn't recognize her at first from the trailer. When I heard that, I'm like, oh yeah, she's a good action sort of actress, and I guess that's good casting.
I just get worried about reboots.
Yeah. I mean, Hollywood has run out of ideas.
It's that, and also they fucking killed Ghostbusters.
Yeah, well, they're coming back. Like apparently what's left of the original cast is coming back to try again.
Also, Dan Aykroyd's fucking nuts.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I won't whatever the fuck he's on. Have you heard him talk about like the space aliens and the space-time continuum?
Oh yeah, it's like, aliens probably won't visit us, especially after 9/11.
God. Aliens, like, they're about to land here. They see all the war, just, oh, fuck this.
Well, I mean, they've heard Hitler's speech by now, obviously, so, like, 9/11 probably won't surprise them.
Yeah, aliens are like, well, I bet aliens, just like in South Park, we're like the TV show that all the trashy aliens watch. Oh, by the way, can I tell you about speaking of movies, is there any other movie you want to talk about?
Just Men in Black. Oh yeah, Hellboy. I saw that the new season of Stranger Things is coming. I saw the trailer for that.
I have not seen Stranger Things yet.
Yeah, it's not impressive. I mean, like, after the first season...
It wears down.
It wore down. Like, immediately. It was pretty clear that, in the second season, that they just didn't have any ideas going forward. And it seems... And what really annoys me is that they're still clinging to the 80s nostalgia. I would have appreciated if they just, skipped ahead to, the 90s, or even the 2000s.
Cool idea for something. Make it a multi-generational horror story.
Yeah, exactly. Something not exactly like American Horror Story, but, have it skip 10 years every season.
Then we get to season 5.
And it's set in the future, yeah.
Yeah, oh man. Also, it does have a cool monster design.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, I just saw the Demogorgon.
Yeah. And then season 2, there's multiple demi-dogs. And it's just dog, biped, or quadrupeds with the same face as the monster from the original, which is just really underwhelming. like it seems like there's a lot of like the production quality is really upped in the new season because you have like almost like Metal Gear Solid type enemies. I say enemies like
Monsters.
Like it's like people with gas masks who can apparently warp space and time or something.
You know what I want? I want another Metal Gear Rising game. If we can't get one, make a new IP that's basically Metal Gear aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I mean, Square actually released a game kind of like that, and it was awful.
what?
Um,
What was it called?
I just watched the video today, and I can't remember the
Was
name.
that the chain one?
No, that's not Astral Chain. It just came out, and it's like if you look at the box art, you can see that it's basically Metal Gear Solid art, but it's called like Last Left Alive or something, and it's like set in Soviet Russia. You play as like some anime kid and like or anime girl, and like at some points you jump in like a battle mech and like blow people away or something, and it's just a really terrible video game. But because I watched the Zero Punctuation video, and as Yahtzee said, it's the fun kind of bad. It's not like the cash grab Ubisoft style cash grab or EA's like just trying to get your money through your pants.
Oh, speaking of that, For Honor's gotten an update. They added a new hero, and he's my fucking main, but better in every way, and that pisses me off. They pick the least played character of the Knights and they retail. I'm sorry, I want to vent about this. This fucker can parry and counter at the same time. That's bullshit. And he can cast magic. What the honest fuck? I'm sorry, imagine if you played a game and all of your mains were systematically nerfed the entire game. My favorite line was, I was playing with this dude, and he said, we were playing on the Discord, said, wow, you beat that guy back to season 1 when he didn't suck balls.
One last thing I want to talk about before we end, because it looks like the recorder's almost out of batteries.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to talk about is Comicsgate, and just, it seems like it's falling apart now, and, I mean, it's been falling apart since it was established, but
it was falling apart before it even got built.
Yeah. I heard that Doug TenNapel, a pretty big name in semi-big name in comics, creator of Earthworm Jim is what he's mostly known for, but he was behind it until now, recently. I think he left. I'm not sure if it's entirely accurate, but that's what I heard, at least. I mean, even if he's still on, to me, it's like believable because it didn't seem like he was going to be on for very long. But it's like you can tell that Comicsgate just doesn't know how to manage themselves. They're just like I don't know, I'm not entirely lucid right now because I took some cold medication before I left. So I'm just gonna try.
Fuck me up, fam.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and wing it on my lean soaked ass. You know what lean is?
Lean?
Yeah, it's like that.
Oh, when you mix fucking Sprite and cough syrup.
Oh yeah, that is what it is. Yeah, because I always see it like it's a purple kind of liquid.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's purple drink. No, it's not. It's fucking poison.
Yeah,
it's not even the good kind of homemade kill yourself drug.
Yeah. But Comicsgate sucks still. I actually saw. Street Web Comics, they did a reading of the Inevitably Doomed is the name of the comic that's basically just completely satirizes Comicsgate.
Is it good?
I mean the script is always like Thomas's scripts are always really entertaining.
Oh, it's one to hit. Oh,
yeah.
He wrote it.
Yeah, he wrote it, and it's like a blatant satire, and it seems like it's only going to be a script from now on because like by the time it gets like drawn up, Comicsgate will probably be gone. I can see Comicsgate lasting for like another 3 months maybe.
Make it a reminder, Tombstone.
Yeah, but it seems like because I know that a big cornerstone of Comicsgate was raising money to fund original comics like Jawbreakers and Cyberfrog. Well, those are sequels to comics that were made in the 90s.
You know, it's a sad they wasted a good name like Jawbreakers. Yeah. That's a fucking great name if done right.
Yeah, but like of the comics that have been released, all of them are terrible. And Cyberfrog, like from what I've heard, like it keeps getting delayed, which is just baffling because it raised like $500,000 or something, some crazy amount of money.
When it finally comes out, it's MS Paint. Guys are just sitting there smoking this money away.
Yeah, all these projects have gotten like huge budgets from crowdfunding, and they've all like come out with art that looks like it was made by some amateur on DeviantArt. If you've seen any of the art from Iron Sights, it's all like black and white, just janky, sketch-looking crap.
There's just this guy hiding in their basement. Don't make me.
It looks like it costs like $100 to make, not like $100,000.
Does it look like it was drawn with a gun to somebody's head?
Yeah, actually. Yeah, like, that's a good way to sum it up, actually.
I'm sorry, I live with mental image of like, you will help the new comics order.
It says bad art, bad writing, and meanwhile, you know, Shitty Web Comics, they've released one comic, and it's great. Like especially compared to like anything from Comicsgate. It's like an original idea. I mean, I am biased. I'm going to disclose the fact that I paid $100 to fund their comic to get my character in. Yeah, just sliding a big fat wad of cash across the table. But yeah, it's like it's pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like something to completely lose your shit over, but it's solid. It's been released. Like, that's something you can say as opposed to like half the comics that have been funded by Comicsgate.
Wait, that really is the comic's name is the name?
Literally, yes.
No, literally.
Literally, that's the name of the comic, yes.
Cool.
And it's... I mean, I've gushed about it before, so I'm just going to keep that brief. But,
You know, I'm going to read it, so when we do our next podcast, I'm going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And maybe, for compare and contrast, I'll fucking do, like, Iron Sights or Jawbreakers.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot there, but it's a good start. It's like the first of 3 parts.
Right.
And they're about to launch their campaign for funding part 2. And I've actually listened to the script of part 2, and it sounds like even better than the first.
Well, so literally that is the name of the comic.
Yes, and you can find it on Gumroad. I'll probably link it in the description, as well as...
The Traders of the Gum Road.
And I'll probably link the Shitty Web Comics, or Laley and Pals, the Discord,
right,
as well. So, on that note, I've been Tony.
I've been Zach.
And this has been The Monkey Bar.